Mild, yet also unbelievably devilish. My rage can encapsulate even the most fearsome of titans. I slice through the prudish and feed them to the poor, dicing up steaks of ignorance and seasoning them with awareness, until that putrid shit starts to taste like wisdom, the MSG of the spirit. I am the blood-dripping nipple of truth and the creamy discharge of the way. You cannot escape this. It is a horrendous vision that will assault your every orifice, your every sensorium, with or without your permission. Your numbness has to go. I will burn your nerves anew and force you to be raw in your sensitivity until you can stand it no more. I will violently inject life into moribund habits and make the jaded and dead alive and gasping for touch. Better to be wet behind the ears than dry around the crotch. Here's a little shock for you. You are right here. I never thought I'd be a romantic poet, the kind of person who spends their besotted hours mixing honey and blood in his words of love and rapture, suffering and solace. But my heart no longer has a safety on button. Like an oversensitive bear trap, it snaps shut at even the slightest whisper of yearning on the wind. Dipping my quill into the ink of longing and fabricating parchment from the flayed skin of my own absurdist fantasies, I have come to understand Leonard Cohen more than I ever hoped, and a single word of Rumi can leave me drunk and irresponsible for days. What can do one in life with a hair-trigger heart like this? But I guess I always knew I was destined to be another romantic poet. These dakinis are truly insatiable. I can't look at anything red without Vajrayogini and her manifold forms lunging at me with atomic sensuality. My legs are actually shaking with concentrated lust, a kundalini rising that encircles the golden ambiguity of my androgynous face. The soles of my feet are like pools of diamonds, suction cups accumulating desire straight from the ground. I guess I can only make of myself a haruka and heroically forge the burning union that transcendental confusion emits. I am the madness of bliss and the hunger of enlightenment, the ever-waiting tiger ready to pounce on you with pleasure. The more exacting you control yourselves, the more us yoginis will tear you in two, ripening you into a ferocious storm that demands incessant satisfaction. Crimson clouds, crimson burst, crimson all the way. To lose yourself is a maestro's culmination. Such a joyous frenzy seizes us all through the power of lust. Take off reality's pants to see what she's wearing. The naked awareness of truth is more erotic than you can imagine. All of my nadis, my spiritual channels, erupt with coronal vibrance, my blood becoming honey no bee would dare to sting but could ever refuse. Pucker up. Drive yourself wild, sweat until you stink, and get high sniffing your own celestial indulgence. Reality really wants you to play with her, to squeeze her, to tug her, to mess her up. She's a nasty lady, there's no denying that. As chaste as a nun in the glint of orgasm, the primordial yab-yum of nothing being fucked by something. Oh, it makes me want to melt and erupt into everything. So I squeeze my legs tight and try not to scream. All the girls love a good yogi, Buddha-bellied or as thin as a rake. The girls just can't get enough of those unbathed gurus who wash themselves in the essence of the Dharma. The ladies are not interested in high-powered CEOs. They want mad mountain men chanting spells over their own piss. The ladies have lost favour for 7-foot gymnasts and bulking bodybuilders. They want scrawny lotus men who need neither Ferraris nor Boeing B-47s to dance through the clouds. Check out my cave, baby. 5-star approved. Guaranteed satisfaction. Colder and damper than anyone else's. Even the great Milarepo would consider such digs unseemly, a bachelor pad of luxurious austerity, guaranteed to dampen any pants from the drip, drip, drip of insidious stalactites. Screeching and roosting bats provide a soundtrack better than Barry White, as well as the deathly scent of accumulated ammonia from the heaped guano we can pop like chocolates into one another's mouths. I have no car, no house of my own, no high-paying job, no rank, wealth or status, or list of worldly complaints to make conversation with. I do not have very much at all, but I do have a smile and the desire to perfect an all-embracing heart, to puncture the pimple of my ego and give the remains to you, like the pop balloon Eeyore received from Winnie the Pooh. I will wrap you in my hair and cocoon you in the sky as the yogis of Tibet reawaken in my eye. You are window shopping when you happen to see my mannequin in the window. Seduced by a spontaneous, misplaced temptation, you momentarily consider purchase. But just as you are about to approach the service counter, you notice an ominous warning label. It reads, "If you truly intend to love me, or indeed anyone, here are some things you should know. Though you will find beauty in me, you will find just as much ugliness. And unless you can love this ugliness with just as much fervour, I suggest you keep your receipt. And though you may find satisfaction in my company, you will inevitably face disappointment. Unless you can forgo all attachment and expectation, this silly yogi will only dissatisfy you. Though you may think you have an idea of who I really am, the longer you know me, the stranger and more unfamiliar I will become. Unless you are willing to take me as a new being every day and abandon your fixity to time and space, you should never bother to get to know me. Unless you can blend the bad with the good, the abstracted with the smooth, the sublime with the mundane, the exciting with the dull, the polite with the profane, I suggest you hang me back on the rack and never think of love again." Reading thus, she sagaciously flung me away and dived out of the shop window, never to be seen again.